So this is the wireless headset interface module from Harley Davidson motorcycles, the WHIM. Yeah, after a year and a half of testing, yep, completely failed on me. Very, very frustrating. That is what I'm here to talk to you about today. I hope it helps a lot of you out there and saves you from frustrations. Welcome back, Bikeaholics. Ryan Erlacher here, lawabidingbiker.com. I always thank you for checking back in. So if you're not familiar, this is what the actual WHIM looks like from Harley Davidson. I've done a lot of videos on this channel on the Boombox system over the years and the WHIM. Check the channel out. I want to get some of you that are new and maybe not familiar up to speed a little bit. So Harley Davidson partnered with Harman Kardon, and they started putting the Boombox system in touring models 2014 and newer. And in many ways, it was an epic fail. We do have a complete video tutorial series. We sell the heck out of those videos. We worked really hard on them over the years, and it will teach you how to best utilize the Boombox system because it does do a lot of really cool things and it can be useful. Our video series will help you flatten that learning curve, basically. I'll link to them in the description below. So one of the epic failures of this system is it never had the ability built in to pair directly with a wireless Bluetooth headset. It had the ability to pair with your phone out of the box when you bought your bike. So a handset profile is what they call that. So you could play your music, get phone calls and things like that. Again, it wouldn't pair directly with a Bluetooth headset. After years of riders being very frustrated with Harley Davidson, as usual, they never address their problems. They silently came out with the WHIM to fix their mistake. The WHIM is an add-on unit to the Boombox that will finally give you that direct, I guess it's not technically direct because it's a band-aid for their original problem, but it will allow you, once installed, to pair a wireless Bluetooth headset with the Boombox system. And so honestly, when it came out, that's the only reason we here at Law Abiding Biker Media actually picked one of these up because we had a lot of questions on it. And that's what we do here on this channel and our weekly podcast is help as many bikers as we can worldwide. So we wanted to answer a lot of the questions. And no, Harley Davidson did not give this to Boombox owners. Not only were they putting a band-aid on their problem, they charge customers. And I think I paid originally $340 for this unit because I needed, for my model, I needed an additional install cable for $50. And not only that, they were charging you for the unit. They weren't installing it for free. Their dealerships are charging to install it. Not only are they charging to install it, they're charging to flash your Boombox system after the WHIM is installed so that it recognizes it. And so we immediately produced a free install video so that you wouldn't have to pay a dealership to do this. And like I said, the only reason I picked this up, I'm not a fan of paying Harley Davidson this to fix their problem. There are other solutions out there. I know a ton of guys that are still very happy and running the Sena FreeWire, which we sell in the Law Abiding Biker store. I'll link to that in the description below. If you're a single rider, it's a great, great option. It plugs into your 7-pin. We've done all the videos on this channel on how it works and how to install it and get up and running, but it's a much cheaper option. And you can pair with your Boombox. Long before the WHIM came out, the FreeWire was out and gave you that ability to directly pair with your Boombox system. I just want to mention one thing. Before you leave this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell icon. Every time those are hit, another biker joins the revolution, and we would love to have you be part of it. And I still know a lot of guys that just don't want to have to even deal with wireless connectivity. A very viable option, we sell the heck out of them, is our 7-pin IMC headset. I will link to it in the description below. We sell it in the Law Abiding Biker store. Plug in and you're off and running, and you can get full functionality. With the older Boombox, I want to say, the new GTS Boombox, which came out on 2019 and newer models, yeah, Harley doesn't want you using an aftermarket headset on that. So in order to get full functionality on that new GTS unit, they are forcing you to buy a Harley Davidson stamped headset. They put some kind of codec in it. And I also want to mention that they stuck it to us with the WHIM. You need to be very aware that the WHIM will pair with an array of different brand name wireless Bluetooth headsets. However, Harley Davidson thought it was a good idea to put a codec in it, the WHIM. So the only way that you will get true stereo sound is if you buy a Harley Davidson stamped Sena, who they partnered with, a Harley Davidson stamped Sena 20S or 30K mesh headset. Otherwise, you're going to get crappy mono sound. Now with the FreeWire, if you're just running that, you can pair directly and there is no codec, and you can use different brand headsets and get stereo sound if your headset offers it. And one more thing, just so everybody's clear, in 2019, they came out with a new version of the Boombox, which is called the GTS. I've already done an overview and review video of it when it first came out on this channel. The only additional thing with that is, no, you would think with the new Boombox GTS system that they would have just included the WHIM. They do on only CVO models, but everybody else, you get the GTS brand new on your bike, and they're still forcing you to add a WHIM. And that new GTS unit has Apple CarPlay built in, but to get that functionality of Apple CarPlay, you're going to either have to have a Harley stamped wired headset or a Harley stamped wireless Sena headset. And it begs the question, did Harley Davidson executives set this up back in 2014 and have a meeting about this? Hey Jim, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good, Bill. What's this meeting about? Well, Jim, I'm glad you asked. You see, I think we should bring a stereo system, an infotainment system, and put it on our Harley touring line. Yeah, that sounds cool. So like one of those touch screen infotainment systems that you can play all your music and make phone calls and navigation with? That's awesome. Yeah, and I'm gonna need you to head this project up, Jim. You up to it? Yeah, Bill, so the first thing I'll do is I'll contact the car companies because they've been doing it for years and we can learn from any mistakes they've made. That's a stupid idea, Jim. I mean, we're Harley Davidson. How long have you worked here? We don't learn from anybody. We just screw it up ourselves. Okay, Bill, but don't you think we could save a lot of money and time and just figure out which the best unit is in a car and just put it on our motorcycle? Jim, you're not getting it here. We're Harley Davidson. Say that with me. We're Harley Davidson. We're Harley Davidson. We've screwed our customers for years, Jim, and we're not about to start treating them right with this Boombox system. That's what I want to name it, Boombox. Okay, Bill. If we're not going to use the technology that already exists, maybe we can team up with one of the best stereo manufacturing companies. That's dumb too, Jim. You need to wake up. Why would we do that? Why would we make a great unit? We're not in the business of making great stuff that works great. We're here to screw our customers. They love it. I want you to find a manufacturer that sucks. Maybe like Harman Kardon or something. Call them. Okay, Bill, but Harman Kardon doesn't really make good stuff. Ah, now you're starting to get it, Jim. Oh, and I only want the unit that we designed to partially work. I want it to frustrate customers for years so that they have to rely on us and keep coming back to our website to see if there's software updates that will finally fix their problems. This is how we keep our customers. Okay, Bill. And while we're at it, I think we could make a system that won't pair with a Bluetooth wireless headset. That's a great idea. Now you're seeing the vision, Jim. This unit is really gonna suck, and we're gonna piss off a lot of customers. They're used to it. After all, look at these Harley shirts we're wearing. Our dealerships mark them up 300%, but our customers keep buying them. It's awesome. You're right, Bill. We totally rip people off with our shirts. And then after we piss our customers off for several years, by them not being able to pair their headset with their Boombox system, we'll make them like a module. We'll call it the WHIM, Wireless Headset Interface Module, and we'll charge customers for it and mark it up. And we'll charge them for the dealership to have to install it, Bill. And on top of that, they'll have to pay a fee to have their Boombox flash so that it all works. This is great, Jim. This is exactly why I want you in charge of this project. We really want to stick it to our customers with this one. It's what they expect from us. Oh, and then Bill, after they get the WHIM, we'll put something in it that makes it only last a year and a half, and they'll have to do the whole process over. We're going to be rich. Yeah, Jim, and we'll make sure that we don't put any kind of good warranty on it. Okay, Bill, and I have another idea. We'll contact our very archaic social media team that don't know how to advertise anymore. And instead of reaching out to people and communities that actually ride Harleys, we'll just give it to like some unknown random Hollywood actors that don't care about Harley Davidson. And we'll have them promote it. It'll be great. It definitely won't relate to our customers. That's an awesome, awesome idea, Jim. Our marketing department sucks. And Jim, just when our customers think they've been screwed a lot, we're going to screw them even more. We're going to build a codec into the wireless Sena headsets, so the only way you can get stereo sound with the WHIM is to buy our product stamped with our logo. And we're going to mark them up big time. Okay, Bill, do you think there's any other way we can screw our customers with this project? I do, Jim. After 4 years of pissing the customers off, we'll make a new boombox. We'll call it the GTS, but we still will make it so it doesn't pair with a headset, and they'll have to buy the WHIM and go through that whole mess. And we'll only make Apple CarPlay work on it if they buy our headsets. Okay, Bill, I get it, but it just still seems wrong. It seems like we should change with the times and start treating our customers well. Our company may go under, Bill. Jim, you'll learn in time. We've been screwing our customers for a lot of years. We're going to continue to do it. They just always keep coming back and buying our stuff. Bill, you know this is going to piss a lot of customers off. Should we at least make some really good training videos on how to use our systems and its limitations and capabilities? That's dumb, Jim. Why in hell would we do that when we have the law-abiding biker YouTube channel and podcast? Those guys make free videos for the biker community and actually teach them how to use our system, and they teach them the limitations and capabilities. They've got it covered. Right again, Bill. Thank God for the law-abiding biker YouTube channel. Those guys rock. Okay, now that everybody's up to speed, let's dive in and let me tell you exactly what was happening and how this failed and how I figured out what to do. All right, just real quick, promise we'll get right back into your video. A ton of man hours, effort, and expenses go into helping as many bikers as we can worldwide. There's a way you can support us and get benefits. You can become a patron member. Link in the description below. You pledge a certain amount per piece of content. No risk to you because you can put a monthly cap. There are the benefits, like I say. T-shirt, stickers, the private Facebook group, you get access to that. It's a troll-free zone. Access to our live private video broadcasts and chat, up to access to our premium videos upon request, and you get access to ride events and meetups. All right, let's get back into your video. And so one day I fired up my Harley, and out of the blue, it just started having problems. Now, I'm gonna break down the problems in case you're having them. Hopefully it will help. I will tell you that both headsets here I'm talking about, the Sena 20S and the Sena 30K mesh. These are both Harley Davidson stamped headset units. So it would still pair with this headset, the 20S, and it would still pair with the 30K. I could still hear music and phone calls and things like that. However, when I went into my menu system and I went to my actual headset, there's a screen there, and the status should show connected, and it did not show connected. It didn't show. It's also supposed to show battery status and some other things. The biggest thing is it's supposed to have a configuration tab, and that allows you to go ahead and hit that button, and then you can go in and completely configure these headsets and customize them to the way that you want to operate them. That was completely missing. Additionally, there were some other settings like an audio setup where there's extra boxes and options, I should say. Those were completely missing. And on top of it, when I would go into that wireless headset, every time I would go into the menu system and go to wireless headset, it would show that the rider headset was disabled along with the passenger headset, which I don't have on this bike, but it would show disabled. Even though it was still working and I could hear music, it was stereo music, but I would have to hit enabled to get back into the headset to show that it wasn't connected, is what it said. So I started the process of diagnosis and testing, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what I did. And so first things first, I went in and used the Sena desktop application and made sure that both of these headsets firmware was up to date. Additionally, I went in and made sure that the WHIM firmware was all up to date. Then I went into my Boombox system and of course made sure that its firmware was also up to date. So everything was ready to go, and no, that didn't fix the problem. So next, and I did it many times on each headset, I would completely unpair the headset and then do the repair process. And that didn't work either. And the interesting thing is when I would actually pair a headset, it would tell me that it was paired. Audibly, I could hear it. And the pop-up on the Boombox screen would just say that it's pairing, and it would stick there and it would not go away. You'd basically have to back out of the menu system to get rid of that screen that was stuck there. So next, I went into my Boombox and I actually reset my Boombox to factory settings. That didn't work either. I unpaired everything and paired it again. So then I went in and tore my fairing apart, and I went and unplugged the WHIM multiple times while the ignition was on to try to reset it. And I went even beyond that and pulled the fuse, master fuse in the motorcycle many times just to try to get it to reset, because it was as if it was working somewhat, but it was like a partial software load, for lack of a better term. And as you guessed, none of that worked either. And I had just one more thing to try. So I went to the dealership. They know me well there, and they had no insight into what could be the problem at all. And that's not their fault, or dealerships across the country. They just really haven't been educated on this thing. Harley's done a really bad job at educating their dealers and techs on the system. So I kind of told them, what I had done, and that I was there as a last resort to try to resolve this issue. So my idea was, let's hook this up, the WHIM, or the Boombox, I should say, to a digital technician, which is a proprietary software that only dealerships have. It allows you to get into the bike and adjust an array of things along with all the Boombox settings that we don't have access to. So I thought, well, let's just go ahead. By the way, when you first install the WHIM, you will have to go to the dealership, and you do have to have it flashed basically so that it recognizes the WHIM. So I thought, hey, what a better way. Let's go ahead and uncheck the WHIM and tell the Boombox that the WHIM is not there anymore. We restarted the Boombox, and then we went ahead and I told him to check the box that says WHIM, so that the Boombox knows it's back, and then we restarted the Boombox system, hoping that somehow that would fix the problem and wake the WHIM up from its partial software load. And lo and behold, negative. That did not work either. And like I say, the dealership had no idea what to do. And lovely, the WHIM unit itself has a very limited warranty, and it's only 1 year anyways, and I was well outside that. Deep breath. Yep. Because I want to help you guys, I went ahead. I needed to figure this out. I wanted to relate this to the community. So yes, my only option, I had to believe, was a bad WHIM unit. I went out and purchased a new WHIM unit for $290 this time. It was a little less expensive because I didn't have to buy the additional cable that's required for my bike, because it's already on there and I would just reuse it. Really, all I needed was the stupid WHIM unit. But do you think they sell just this alone at a reduced cost? Of course not. Why would Harley do that? So I came home with the WHIM, and of course, before I removed anything, I just pulled the fairing off and I simply unplugged the old WHIM, plugged that new WHIM in, and bingo, it immediately fixed everything. I paired the headsets with it, and of course, the Boombox was already flashed, so it recognized the WHIM, and everything came back and worked like it had originally on the WHIM that went bad. And so began the process of actually digging in, because you have to remove a few things, the left speaker box to get up and access to where the WHIM actually sits up in there. And I got access to it, replaced it officially with the new WHIM, and then buttoned everything back up. And I've been out for several rides, and everything is working awesome. But it begs the question, I'm really curious, anybody out there, please comment below on what you think about this, not only this system, but if you've had one go bad or you're having problems, because it makes me wonder that if this is going to start being yet another debacle and consistent problem with the Boombox system and the WHIMs going bad after a short amount of time. So please comment below, help the community out, help me. Don't forget to pick up some law-abiding biker swag. Get out there and freaking ride.